seetal gesneer yaa ngi nii borode yaa ngi nii mu ne déedéet borode jigéen rek di ko sol damay indi borode jigéen indi borode góor laaw la cat kii daal ne na xam nga lu muy bañ ñoo dugg ci bitig bi ne nangam lay ut ñu ne amut lépp lu jigéen di soxla rek mu ngi ci bitig bii rawat na nag tubaarikàlla scrub yi nga xam ne moo xew si jamono ndax nee na buggatul benn yaram yàqu scrub yaa ngi nii body scrub yi face scrub yaa ngi day and night loo bugg rek ci jigéen mu ngi ci bitig bii cuuraay yaa ngi fi house spray yaa ngi fi waaye foundation yi ana powder yi qualité Getzner fii nag la am ci Westfield qualité Getzner nëbuwul maa ngi ni kuy nëbbatu du ko wax mu ngi ne fanga ca kaw nag koolat 753 4495 25 00 124 ñaari nomba yi boo ci oo ñu uyu la xale yaa ngi fi koo laaj mu waxal la qualité Getzner and
of Arts and Sciences are graduating today in the following disciplines: Bachelor of Arts in Christian Studies, Bachelor of Arts in Development Studies, Bachelor of Arts in English Language, Bachelor of Arts in Geography, Bachelor of Arts in History, Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, Bachelor of Arts in Biology, Bachelor of Arts in Chemistry, Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics, Bachelor of Arts in Physics. A milestone in your academic career. It has been a long and a tough journey, but with tenacity, dedication and commitment, and having to have set your eyes on the goal, you finally arrived at your destination. Congratulations. May your degrees be blessed. Ladies and gentlemen, as we witness the procession, I can imagine the mixed feeling thirdly, there is that interesting feeling of the uncertainty of the future, what the future holds for them. Right from here, are they going to grab the jobs? Or are they going to spend days to look for jobs, weeks, months? Or are they moving straight to grab some further degrees? These and many more are thoughts going through their minds. Nonetheless, we wish them all the best. Witness a global economic shock.
Yes, I can hear you.
Caused by COVID-19 issues. We hope that these graduates are fully prepared to ensure that such global shock in every country, particularly the Gambia, at the stage we are trying to nurture our democracy. You have a big role to play in ensuring that the media fraternity does its work with utmost professionalism in order to nurture that democracy. And following the School of Journalism and Digital Media are graduates from the School of Information Technology and Communications.
The arrival of the VIPs, most of them
Congratulations, graduates from the School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences. It seems to me that each of the schools has a way of working. The lawyers were working legally The doctors are working medically. While we hope that the graduates from the various bachelor's degrees will inspire our brothers and sisters in the secondary schools, we also hope that you that are graduating from the School of Graduate Studies will also inspire the graduates from the various bachelor's degrees to also pursue higher degrees. Congratulations, making body in any university. These are professors and senior academics on whose expertise. Thank you, senators. Congratulations to you as well for always being there to ensure that thoughtful academic decisions are made for the advancement of the university, but to the interest of the students who are our primary stakeholders. Congratulations and thank you so very much. No university can prosper without a vibrant Senate. So we thank you. We appreciate your job. Following them are the academic staff. The academic staff and the senators deliver the academic programs and formulate academic decisions and policies. We thank you. On behalf of the graduates, we appreciate your service, your selfless service for that matter, in imparting that which was needed. The knowledge, the skills, and the attitude. And that is why today senior academic and educationist. Following him is the Chief Executive Officer and the Chief Academic Officer of the University of the Gambia, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Herbert Robinson. Following Professor Herbert Robinson, marching majestically is the Honorable Minister. And finally, and ultimately, the President of the Republic of the Gambia and the Chancellor of the University of the Gambia, His Excellency President Adama Barrow. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Chancellor's procession. Dr. Taro,
thank you.
Here you go.
about to start the program. For a momentous occasion like this, we must commit it to the hands of the Almighty Allah for divine guidance, protection, and inspiration. To help us do that, it is my pleasant duty to invite Ustaz Jah to lead us in prayers.
رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر حاسد إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. اللهم انصر أولادنا فإنك خير الناصرين. اللهم أرزقهم فإن خير الرازقين. اللهم ارحمهم فإن خير الراحمين. اللهم افتح لهم فإن غير الفاتحين. اللهم احفظهم فإن غير الحافظين. اللهم اهدهم إلى طريق الحق إلى صراطك الذين أنعمت النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين. اللهم ارزقهم رزقا واسعا وعلما نافعا وعملا متقبلا. يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبهم على دينك. يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبهم على دينك. اللهم يسر امورهم. اللهم وفقهم لما تحب وترضى. اللهم وفقهم لما تحب وترضى. اللهم انا نسألك في صلاتنا ودعائنا بركة تطهر به قلوبهم وتكشف به كربهم وتصلح به امورهم وتغني به فقرهم وتهديهم الى طريق الحق الى صراطك الذي انعمت النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق الناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.
And chairman of the Gambia Christian Council to lead us in prayers.
Great God of heaven and earth, one of your properties is that you are a fount of wisdom, and we thank you that you have allowed humanity to participate in acknowledging, knowing, and receiving knowledge. Today we celebrate the University of the Gambia and for all that it represents in this nation. We thank you for its lecturers, its council, and for all who participate in making the university what it is. Today, as we celebrate these students who are now graduating, we pray that you will lift up your hand concerning each one of them, that these academic certificates that they will be given will be a blessing to each and every one of them, that in their quest to fulfill that which you have allowed them to study, may they be a blessing unto this nation. May they be a blessing unto Africa, and may they be a blessing unto this world. So bless this gathering, that in its continuation and ending, you will truly be glorified. We pray in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and our Savior. Amen.
All I ask of you is to sit back, relax, and enjoy the proceedings. We would appreciate it if you could kindly switch your mobile phones to silent mode and be courteous to those around you by refraining from talking aloud. During the presentation of graduates, we encourage you to express your pride by applauding and cheering. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, graduation day is always a day of rejoicing, for it marks the conclusion of an educational journey and the commencement of another more uncertain and more difficult part of man's quest for a better life and future. Truly, today signifies the culmination of many years of hard work in the relentless pursuit of knowledge, knowledge that will enable a person to embrace opportunities and take on challenges with clear vision and purpose. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 15th Convocation of the UTG, that is University of the Gambia. We expect the ceremony to last approximately 2 hours. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Section 2 of the Tertiary and Higher Education Act 2016 stipulates that the Chancellor is the titular head of a public university, and he or she shall preside over ceremonial assemblies of the university and confer degrees and other academic awards of that university. Therefore, in conformity with Section 2 of the Tertiary and Higher Education Act, it is my pleasant duty to call on the Chancellor, His Excellency, President Adama Barrow, to constitute this assembly as a convocation of the University of the Gambia for the purpose of conferring degrees, diplomas, and certificates of the University of the Gambia. Thank you.
By Section 8, Cap 2 of the Tertiary and Higher Education Act 2016, I hereby constitute this assembly, the 15th Convocation of the University of the Gambia, for the conferment of degrees, diplomas, and certificates of the University of the Gambia.
Thank you, Chancellor. With that pronouncement by the Honorable Chancellor, the stage is now set for the event to proceed.
President of the Republic of the Gambia, Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, other ministers of state here present, the Secretary General and Head of Civil Service, Chairman, National Assembly Select Committee on Education and Training, honorable members of the National Assembly, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, permanent secretaries, regional governors, Vice Chancellor and members of Council and Senate, heads of parastatals, mayors and chairpersons of regional councils, Alkalolu, Seifolu, venerable religious leaders, graduating class of 2023, staff and students of the University of the Gambia, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by thanking you all for making time to be part of this auspicious moment of the 15th Convocation of the University of the Gambia. I am honored as Chairman of the Governing Council to welcome you all to what I believe will be a memorable ceremony, especially for graduates and their loved ones. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged once again to have the Chancellor here to preside over the proceedings. Your Excellency, your presence always adds grandeur to the occasion, and the fact that convocations enjoy priority status on your busy schedule gives us much assurance of your commitment to the good life and prosperity of the university. Today is billed to be joyous, but it would be inappropriate not to remember with a sense of sadness one person who inspired growth in the UTG since his appointment as Minister of Higher Education in 2017 to his untimely death as Vice President of the Republic last January. That is, of course, after he had spearheaded the work of the Commission and the Implementation Task Force for the establishment of the university in 1999. He was a passionate educationist with a perfectionist drive for high-quality attainment in all areas he ventured. The passing of His Excellency Badara Diouf marks a big loss to the university, to education, and to the nation at large. We condole with his family and thank them for sharing his richly productive life with us. It is hoped that it will be possible to immortalize his name and memory. Meanwhile, we pray for the peaceful repose of his gentle soul in the highest heaven. Amen. At last year's convocation, Professor Per Gomez was on our side of the Chancellor's days, fully robed as an academic. We welcome him today as Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology. And though he is fully robed, he is on a higher pedestal, and we believe is very much a part of us. We know, we are sure, and are sure that the ministry will benefit from his proactive and dynamic spirit. Every year at convocation, we receive representatives of partners from other countries. This year, we have with us Professor Mamadou Badji, Rector of Asansek University in Ziguinchor and his delegation. Professor Mam Samba Mbaye, Deputy Rector, Chair Anta Diop University, Dakar. Professor Babukar Jeng, Special Advisor to the Rector, Gaston Berger University, St. Louis, and we are missing, of course, our friends from Nigeria who couldn't make it this time. They are here on goodwill missions to strengthen our partnerships. On behalf of the Chancellor, the UTG family, and the nation, I extend a warm hand of welcome to our visiting academics and thank them for their friendship and cooperation. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, one of the highlights of today's celebrations is the award of an honoris causa degree to Mrs. Henriette Bruman Sonko. This is a name most renowned in educational development circles in the country. Through her personal endeavor and genuine dedication to alleviating the plight of the underprivileged, MRC Holland Foundation has changed the face of schools and other educational institutions, especially in rural Gambia. We want to thank her and congratulate her on a deserved recognition. Chancellor, the past year has seen a lot of exciting developments at the UTG. The Vice Chancellor's address will give the details of a very successful year. But let me say that in addition to leaps of improvement in the core areas of teaching, learning, and research and innovation, internship opportunities have also been expanded to give practicality to the academic experience of our students. There are also very significant strides towards the university being more directly involved with national and international community engagement. In this regard, structures are in place to create a select set of niches of excellence in dealing with issues of universal relevance. These are in transitional justice and sustainable peace, food science and nutrition, sustainable development and policy studies, and for leaders and authorities. The interest and cooperation of partners have already been secured. The desire is for these centers to develop as renowned hubs in the sub-region. They will also help as another source of funding for the university. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, compliance with all requirements and guidelines of the National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority, NACA, remains an absolute commitment of Council and management, and action plans have been adopted to advance high-quality delivery in all spheres of our operations. Key aspects of the compliance portfolio include the periodic revision and introduction of new curricula. I am glad to say that some curricula are being reviewed, and the process has started for the addition of entrepreneurship, and a civic education program is also in the pipeline. This work will include patriotism and peace building. One of the key functions of the Governing Council is oversight of the finances of the university, including approval of an annual operational budget. This year, Council passed a budget to sponsor and improve, to support and improve students' learning experience, staff development, and the advancement of efficiency in our processes. But the realistic ambitions of management, as reflected in the original draft budget, had to be tempered by shortfalls in the financial resources available to the university. Fees are the main source of revenue, but these have not increased since 2015, even in the face of the most biting inflationary circumstances of the past 7 years. We acknowledge that there are strong contending interests in the national budget allocation scheme. However, we feel the university deserves some special consideration. We plead, therefore, that a new funding strategy be devised to stem the current financial downturn, which impedes growth in crucial areas of our mandate and operations. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, one development that excites the university community this moment is the prospect of moving to the new Faraba Banta campus in the coming months. The plan is for a wholesale transfer of the main university library and 4 schools, namely Arts and Science, Business and Public Administration, Information Technology and Communication, and Education. The immediate impact will be the freeing up of space at the Kanifing campus and the end to renting of classrooms. Capacity will also be available to meet the demand for enrollment in the 4 relocating schools, but the most positive gains will accrue to teaching and learning. In addition to the enhanced availability of academic tools and facilities, there will be a beautiful and conducive environment for all to savor and be inspired. We are, of course, aware that relocation will have initial operational teething problems relating to transportation, inter-campus coordination and communication, safety, security, general hospitality, and catering services. Plans are in place to resolve these challenges or to ameliorate their adverse effects in the short term. Looking further ahead, the university has started consultations with potential investment on a public-private partnership arrangement for the provision of modern student accommodation and other facilities. The vision is to have a complete university town at Faraba. Honorable Chancellor, we are confident of the state of works and future preparedness at the new campus, so much so that we want to respectfully preempt your approval and to both take the liberty of stating here without hesitation that the next convocation will be held at Faraba Banta. We note and are grateful of the extraordinary moves that you and your government have taken in recent months to push us up to where we are today. With that assured optimism, we want to express our appreciation of the services and support we have enjoyed here at Qcity for 5 consecutive years. The proprietor, Mr. Mohamed Jar, and management have always gone beyond considerations of financial gains to ensure that convocation ceremonies here are successful. It must also be stated that the Q group of companies have been long-term friends of the UTG. Their annual graduating student awards are the most coveted at convocation ceremonies. But those are just an addition to the hundreds of undergraduates that enjoy the Q Group Scholarship Scheme for students on our science, mathematics, and technology courses. We want to commend the Q Group for their deep sense of national duty in significantly contributing to the formation of the country's future leaders. Finally, to the class of 2023, we urge that you imbibe the values in the biblical exhortation to be, I quote, the salt of the earth and the light of the world, end of quote. With your privileged status as university graduates, you should add value to and make a difference in any sector you find yourself. Equally, you are expected to be enlightened enough to shine and brighten the darkest recesses of all forms of bigotry and other societal vices that retard national consciousness and breed only injustice, conflict, and backwardness. For the Gambia, our homeland, we urge that you individually commit yourself to these as personal patriotic values. We trust you will. Go out then and be proud ambassadors of the University of the Gambia. That's what the least we expect of you. Enjoy your special day, and I thank you all for your attention.
Gaston Berger University. It is a tradition to invite them to give goodwill messages. I now have the singular honor to invite the head of delegation from Gaston Berger University to deliver a goodwill message. Thank you.
Mr. Adam Ababaro, Your Excellency, the Vice President, Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, His Lordship, the Chief Justice, Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service, Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, and other cabinet members present, honorable members of the National Assembly and the Senate, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, chairmen and members of the University Interim, Governing Council and past governing councils, mayors, governors, and service chiefs, managing directors, and heads of agencies, venerable religious leaders, distinguished invites, vice-chancellors and scholars, and colleague faculty members, and senior management of the UTG, staff and students of the University of Gambia, honorable guests in your respective titles and ranks, distinguished graduates. It has now become a tradition for University Gaston Berger de Saint-Louis to take part in the convocation ceremony of the University of Gambia. Our presence at this ceremony, several consecutive years in a row, illustrates, if there is a need, the strong ties between Université Gaston Berger and the University of Gambia. Thank you to the Mahars, Professor Pierre Gomez, and the Vice Chancellor, Mr. Herbert Robinson, and the UTG staff for this mark of consideration. UGB, through my voice, commits to strengthen the vibrant cooperation with UTG to provide quality education in the fields of computer science, mathematics, statistics, and arts and sciences. UGB also commits to develop wider cooperation perspective, including administration and students' exchange for institutional development, collaborative research, and educational activities. Dear graduates, let me first congratulate you for reaching this important milestone in your life, which will open doors to rewarding and fulfilling positions, I hope, or why not, entrepreneurship to create jobs in a context where the government and private businesses cannot absorb the masses of African youth arriving in the job market every year. Let me also formulate prayers and wishes of great success in your personal and professional projects. Finally, I would also like to congratulate the UTG staff for the quality of its training programs and great commitments of its teaching and administrative staff, without whom these moments of joy and happiness would not have been possible. Thank you for your attention.
Hassan Sheikh University. Thank you.
Université de Gambie, Monsieur le vice-président, Mesdames et Messieurs les ambassadeurs, Monsieur le ministre de l'Enseignement supérieur, Monsieur le vice-chancelier recteur de l'Université de Gambie, Mesdames et Messieurs les membres du Sénat de l'Université, chers collègues, chers récipiendaires, Mesdames et Messieurs, distingués invités. Alors, comme vous l'aurez remarqué, je suis seulement prévenu hier soir de ce que je vais prendre la parole ce matin. Je n'ai pas eu le temps de préparer un discours, mais je voudrais quand même d'emblée dire combien je suis heureux de pouvoir représenter l'université Hassan Sheikh de Ziguinchor à cette cérémonie de graduation. Monsieur le Président de la République, votre présence en tant que chancelier est plus que symbolique. Elle traduit, à mon sens, un attachement profond, non seulement à la promotion de la jeunesse, mais au développement d'un levier de développement qu'est l'université. L'université, c'est un milieu, c'est une institution, c'est le lieu où se forment des valeurs qui doivent fonder les rapports dans un milieu où on promeut la recherche, le savoir, les connaissances en vue d'assurer le développement de la nation. Si j'en juge déjà par la devise de l'université, je mesure à sa juste valeur l'importance que vous accordez par votre présence parmi nous de ce que l'université doit être pour la République sœur de Gambie. En venant ici, je voulais dans le même temps exprimer ma joie de pouvoir partager, ne serait-ce qu'un instant, ce que nous voulons faire avec l'université sœur de Gambie, dans le cadre de ce qu'il est convenu d'appeler désormais la conférence des recteurs et ministres de l'enseignement supérieur de la Sénégambie méridionale, dont la première édition s'est tenue à l'université Hassan Sheikh de Ziguinchor et à laquelle le professeur Gomez a pris part et par la suite, eh bien, vous lui avez fait confiance en le portant au ministère ô combien stratégique de l'enseignement supérieur, de la recherche et de l'innovation. C'est pour nous l'expression aussi d'un engagement en faveur de l'intégration sous-régionale, car celle-ci commence aussi par la connaissance des hommes. Celle-ci commence par la formation des cadres qui, adossés à des valeurs, peuvent contribuer aux côtés des décideurs à faire bouger les lignes dans le sens de la mise en œuvre des politiques publiques. Je voudrais dire, puisque nous sommes dans le cadre d'une cérémonie de graduation, que nous célébrons aujourd'hui non seulement la science, non seulement les connaissances, non seulement le savoir-faire, mais nous célébrons aussi tout ce que le gouvernement fait dans le sens de mener à bien le développement de l'université de Gambie. Pas plus tard qu'il y a quelques jours seulement, nous avons rendu visite à Monsieur le ministre, à Monsieur le recteur de l'université de Gambie, à qui nous avons affirmé notre disponibilité à concourir au développement des relations interuniversitaires qui permettront, j'en suis sûr, de dessiner des axes de collaboration au bénéfice de nos étudiants. Chers étudiants, vous devez vous réjouir de ce que, toute affaire cessante, le président de la République, chancelier de cette université, ait décidé lui-même, avec tous les acteurs de ce pays, de vous célébrer en compagnie de vos encadreurs. C'est un jour de célébration, effectivement, célébration du mérite, célébration de la réussite, célébration aussi des valeurs qui incarnent l'université. L'ouverture, la solidarité, la recherche, qu'elle soit fondamentale ou appliquée, mais aussi le service à la communauté. Je voudrais dire à l'endroit de vos encadreurs que vous méritez tous les sacrifices. Vous méritez qu'on vous honore. Vous méritez qu'on loue le travail qui a concouru aux résultats dont les parents et les étudiants se satisfont d'obtenir et que nous essayons de saluer aujourd'hui. Eh bien, il n'y a pas de petit pays, il n'y a que de grandes ambitions, il n'y a que de grands défis à relever. Le développement, c'est aussi cela, avoir de grandes ambitions. Et le président, vous avez de grandes ambitions. Et je crois pouvoir dire, pour terminer, que nous sommes très contents de vous, très contents de l'accueil qui nous a été réservé et très soucieux de la coopération entre notre pays et le nôtre, qui en fait ne constitue qu'un seul. Mais l'histoire a décidé que vous soyez un État, nous soyons un État, mais quoi qu'il en soit, c'est un seul et même peuple qui, chaque fois que de besoin, écrit une page nouvelle de son histoire. L'histoire que nous tentons d'écrire avec vous, c'est une belle histoire, une histoire axé sur la réussite des enfants, sur la réussite des jeunes qui sont le levain de la nation. Merci de m'avoir permis de m'adresser à vous. Merci de l'accueil qui nous a été réservé. Je vous remercie.
Merci, Professor Mamadou Badji, Vice Chancellor, Hassan Sheikh University of Ziguinchor. Thank you very much once again for
President of the Republic of Gambia, Honorable Pierre Gomez, the Ministry of Higher Education of the Republic of the Gambia, Professor Herbert Robinson, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Gambia. I will deliver a very brief message. Honorable attendees, the graduates, University Sheikh Anta Diop of Dhaka is very grateful to be associated to this great event, this convocation ceremony to feed these graduates of the University of Gambia. What we want to do is to give just some advice to the graduates. You are now to go to your job. We advise you to commitment for serving, I want to say, all the constraints of the Gambian peoples, but also for African peoples, because university is for that. I would like also to thank the University of Gambia for associating us to this event and for putting us in excellent conditions when we arrived here in Banjul. We want to say that be sure we are standing beside you, we are with you for solving all the problems, for achieving all your goals, because we have to partner with you and to partner with all African universities, because it's very important for us, for our communities, to work together to achieve those goals for the good of the community. I want to thank you for your attention.
Professor Herbert S. Robinson to address the convocation.
Mr. Adama Barrow. Secretary General, Head of Civil Service, Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, other Cabinet members present, National Assembly members present, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, mayors, governors, traditional chiefs, heads of agencies, parastatals, religious leaders, chairperson and members of the University Governing Council and past Governing Council members, Rector of Hassan Sheikh University, representative of the Rector of Gaston Berger University, Deputy Rector of Sheikh Anta Diop University, members of the delegation from universities in Senegal, distinguished invited scholars, members of Senate, faculty members, senior administration of the University of the Gambia, staff and students, friends and partners of the University of the Gambia, graduates, their families, relatives and friends, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor and a pleasure to join you today to mark the celebration of the 15th Convocation ceremony of the University of the Gambia. May I welcome in our midst our Chancellor, President of the Republic of Gambia, His Excellency, Mr. Adama Barrow. the Honorable Minister for Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Per Gomez, the distinguished eminent scholars who travel long distances to join us. I also welcome our chairperson, members of the University Governing Council, and all government officials present. We equally appreciate our graduates, their parents, relatives, friends, staff, and students from the University of the Gambia and other stakeholders and partners of the university. This is my second address to the University Convocation as the Vice Chancellor following my appointment on 4th January 2022. I'm indeed very delighted to take part in the 15th Convocation ceremony of the University of Gambia. In this convocation ceremony, about 1,300 graduation students who, having been found worthy in character and learning, will be awarded various degrees and prizes. This also includes graduate students from the School of Graduate Studies and Research in various fields. For the graduating class of December 2021 and May 2022, we will award first degrees in the following fields of learning. In agriculture and environmental sciences, we have 3 females, 18 males, giving us a total of 21. In education, we have 52 females, 154 males, giving us a total of 206. In physical and natural sciences, 39 females, 78 males, total of 117. In humanities and social sciences, we have 100 females, 118 males, total is 218. In business and public administration, we have 165 females, 200 males, a total of 365. In computer science, we have 7 females, 49 males, giving us a total of 56. In medicine and surgery, we have 25 females, 16 males, giving us a total of 41. In nursing, we have 30 females, 23 males, giving us a total of 53. In public and environmental health, we have 10 females, 12 males, giving us a total of 22. In law, the LLB degree, 40 females, 35 males, total 75. In building community design, 1 female, 21 males, total of 22. In journalism, 6 females, 3 males, a total of 9. In the graduate studies and research, various degrees been awarded here, but the total for females is 31, males 65, giving us a total of 96. Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the total is 1,301 for this convocation ceremony. On behalf of our Senate and indeed all staff and students of the University of Gambia, I congratulate you all and wish you even greater achievements in the years to come. You should be rest assured that we'll be glad to continue to partner with every one of you and to support your steady progress in your career development. Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, just barely 1 year in office, we have mapped our strategies to build on the achievements registered by my predecessors. Our key areas of focus are 1, teaching and learning, 2, research, 3, the application of research to inform both teaching, national, regional, and continental development agendas in partnerships with our key stakeholders in public sector, private sector, civil society, and our development partners. Let me just give you a few highlights of some of the achievements in 2022. In terms of teaching and learning activities, with a total staff complement of over 580 staff, 310 academic, 272 administrative, and a student population of about 7,000. The university successfully delivered about 50 undergraduate programs, 29 master's programs, and 4 PhD programs. We held the 12th matriculation ceremony on 8 June 2022 for undergraduate students. In that cell, we received 2,139 applications and admitted 1,241 students because of limited space and infrastructure. 680 of those students were males, 55%, 553 were females, 45%. The University of Gambia is determined to close the gap in terms of gender parity. On enrollment of graduate students, the number of graduate students is over 1,000, with about a quarter of students, 251 at the School of Business and Public Administration, over 100 at the School of Arts and Sciences, 75 at the School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences, mainly in the areas of public health, midwifery, and nursing, 65 students at the School of Education, and the rest from other schools, except the School of Journalism. However, plans are underway to introduce a postgraduate program in the School of Journalism and Digital Media. On 22nd of June 2022, 40 junior doctors were ushered into the medical profession, following the oath of swearing ceremony of medical students. Although steady progress has been made in the supply of doctors to the health sector in the Gambia, there are considerable challenges during the pre-med, preclinical, and clinical years. It is pleasing to note that more female doctors are graduating this year compared to the males. So that is very good in terms of gender parity. Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, we call on all stakeholders, the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Finance, other ministries, and our development partners to help address the perennial issues of resource and space constraints in the medical school to increase the supply of high-quality medical doctors that the country deserves. On research activities to support teaching and knowledge transfer, the university secured external research and consultancy funding in collaboration with various stakeholders to inform teaching, to enhance the learning experience of students, and to facilitate knowledge transfer to support policy, innovation, and national development. Let me just share with you a few examples. We have a project on strengthening capacity for play-based learning, and the other countries involved are Nigeria and Kenya. This project is funded by the International Development Research Center in collaboration with Global Partnership for Education, and the value of the grant is over $140,000 US. We also have a post-TRRC witch hunting research funded by the UNDP. The value is 2.3 million Gambian dollars. We have environmental and social impact assessment for the Gambia Essential Health Services Strengthening Project, again funded by World Bank through Ministry of Health Project Coordination Unit, the Gambia. The value is 4.8 million Gambian dollars. We have another project on strengthening capacity in health research ethics and methodology in Gambia in partnership with the University of Maryland, USA, the MRC Gambia, and the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. This was funded by the Fogarty International Center of the National Institutes of Health, USA. The value is $240,000 US. There are other projects. Let me just summarize. The impact of mother-to-child transmission of HIV in the Gambia, funded by National AIDS Secretariat, 525,000 Gambian dollars. The development of an internal complaint mechanism for the Gambia Police Force, funded by GIZ, the Gambia, 829,000 Gambian dollars. We're also looking at the feasibility study on climate change and land use and land management in the Gambia, funded by the Federal Ministry of Education and Research in Germany, 200,000 euros. We have rolled out the University of the Gambia Research Grant. Now, following the experience in the first round, there was a need to delay the rolling out for the 2022 year to digest lessons learned and to improve the research infrastructure and ecosystem. A new electronic system platform for grant administration is being built to improve transparency, accountability, and to facilitate the recruitment of a cadre of research staff to support UTG academics, not only in carrying out their research projects, but also in terms of improving the pipeline of research proposals. Now, on engagement with users of research outputs for impact, our academic staff have published in reputable international journals. Let me share with you a few examples that are relevant to the Gambia. There was a research on a common approach to investment in natural resources for African countries. There was another research on environmental health benefits of 4 different selected vegetables in Serekunda market for consumption in the Gambia. We also have another output on prevalence of gastrointestinal parasites in small ruminants in Jara East District, the Gambia. Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt there is reasonable amount of research work going on in the Gambia in key areas of health, nutrition, and environment. But the university is exploring pathways to target the users of knowledge, such as policymakers, development partners, in innovative ways as part of our engagement strategy to maximize impact. Last year, when I took over, we set out 6 strategic priority areas. And these 6 priority areas are central to the Quality First agenda, which was set out. And this is necessary to strengthen the key pillars of teaching and learning, research to inform teaching, and the application of research to knowledge transfer innovation. I'm extremely delighted to report on the progress of the 6S, we call it the 6S. The student experience, staff development and welfare, space, both physical and virtual, for teaching, learning, research, and recreation. System for performance management, sustainable financing, stakeholder engagement to strengthen the link between academia and industry. On student experience, the university is redoubling its efforts to enhance our student experience through ongoing curriculum review, employability, leadership development, and networking programs. On curriculum review, in our quest to deliver quality and relevant programs, some schools departments have conducted retreats to review existing programs. A team has been constituted to start the self-evaluation as part of the NACA accreditation process, with the School of Agriculture being used as the pilot project. On graduate schemes, through the funding from UNDP, 50 students benefited from a graduate scheme which allows our graduates to be deployed to various local government councils to gain relevant work experience. On internship scheme, 100 students were posted to support members of the National Assembly in the execution of their duties. The students gained valuable experience through research, administrative support, and in understanding the work of the National Assembly. This scheme was funded by UNFPA. 8 students also benefited from internships at the African Commission for Human and People's Rights, funded by UNFPA and the University of the Gambia. On Leadership and Networking Conference, about 210 students, including students that went abroad, were supported to attend various conferences, youth and career guidance, activities to develop international leadership, communication, and networking skills. This included, for example, the following. 4 medical students attended the annual General Congress of the International Federation of Medical Students in Turkey. The Secretary General of the Students' Union attended the International Youth Leader Model African Union in Rwanda on the theme Youth Rebranding Africa, the Africa we want, and was recognized with the award for Most Outstanding Delegate. We had 3 students who attended the International Young African Leadership Initiative in Ghana. 7 students attended the UNESCO India-Africa Technology Competition in India. And 2 students attended the 27th United Nations Climate Change Conference in Egypt. So these are just examples of what we are doing to support our students. We've also supported the student union activities to make the university great. We supported the Students' Week. We supported other activities such as Science Association, training on communication, digital media, persons with disabilities. On the second as the staff development welfare, the Governing Council ratified on 23rd April 2022 the promotion of about 50 academic staff and 16 administrative staff to various ranks. 5 staff among them were promoted to the ranks of professors and associate professors. On long-term training, 45 staff were granted study leave in 2022 to pursue long-term training abroad in various specializations, 16 for masters, 29 on PhD programs in key areas including sciences and health, epidemiology, chemistry, biosciences, radiology, mathematics, and information technology. On short-term training, staff were also supported to attend various programs to enhance skills and develop knowledge, including programs in information technology, auditing, protocol, proposal, and grant writing. The Pan-African Doctoral Academy at the University of Ghana initiated a partnership with us, and through that, 2 UTG staff and 2 PhD students participated on various training activities. On staff exchange, we continue to benefit from the Erasmus project. 5 faculty members traveled to Gaziantep University in Turkey. There were also other networking, capacity building, and learning events. But let me move on to space. Space was a big challenge for us, and for teaching and learning, research and recreation, and it remains a top priority. Addressing the challenge of space is critical in improving the quality of teaching, learning, and research, recreational environment at the Banjul, Kanifing, and Birkama campuses. We expect to be able to address these challenges as 2 of the largest schools, arts and sciences, business and public administration, are going to be relocated to Faraba, along with 2 other schools, the School of Education and the School of Information Technology. Faraba Phase 1 will be completed, and 4 schools will move very soon. On system for performance management, with significant investment in teaching and learning, research and application, student experience, staff development, the creation of spaces, and all the other challenges we face, there is a need to have a performance management system in place. And this is going to be central to our Quality Force agenda. We are currently working on a corporate performance dashboard to change the culture of work and to institutionalize performance management at the university. We're also working on a staff development and appraisal system to change the work culture to ensure accountability as an integral response to the Quality Force agenda. We are expanding our enterprise resource planning system so that it can help us to deal with managing performance of our staff, departments, various schools, programs, and projects in teaching and learning, research, and consultancy services. On sustainable financing, The question of funding continues to pose a major challenge to the efficient and effective service delivery. Research at the University of Gambia must be elevated to a position of strategic importance to be at the forefront of national development. Research contributes knowledge to address development challenges of the Gambia and the sub-region through knowledge transfer. If properly structured, it can also be a source of revenue and thus contribute to long-term sustainability of the University of Gambia. On stakeholder engagement, we engage various stakeholders to support programs in teaching and learning, research, knowledge transfer. I've given you some examples of that through the research we do. But importantly to note that we have signed an agreement with AUF, the Francophone University Agency, to develop an employability center at the Birkama campus. AUF also provides a scholarship for 10 students pursuing masters in French program. And there are plans to roll out an online master's degree in international entrepreneurship for 5 countries, the Gambia, Senegal, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, and Cape Verde. We are making significant progress in terms of partnership development. We've signed significant MOUs with the National Assembly, the Gambia Medical and Research Council, University of Ghana, and many other reputable institutions. Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is a need for building capacity at the University of the Gambia, and this has been informed by our situational analysis, which was carried out focusing on the 6S: students' experience, staffing, the space challenges, the system for performance management, sustainable financing, and stakeholders' engagement. The report on the analysis of the key strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats will inform the development of various capacity building and institutional strengthening proposals. Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, investment in education should be seen as an accelerator in the knowledge economy, with significant multiplier effects in terms of supporting the global and continental initiatives such as the UN Sustainable Development Goals, the African Union Agenda 2063, but also in terms of implementing our National Development Plan, supporting the labor market, and in the creation of jobs. Since the inception of the University of Gambia, there are over 7,400 graduates, 59 males, 41% females, 59% males. And some of these are in key strategic positions in the private sector and the public sector. And the public sector, we know that some of them are occupying very senior positions as permanent secretaries and directors. Out of the 7,400 graduates produced to date, 350 are medical doctors, including 290 Gambian doctors. The impact is also significant in terms of social mobility and access to education for disadvantaged families. Without the University of Gambia, the cost and efficacy of producing grounded graduates to support the health sector, our labor market, and our development plans would have been monumental. There is therefore a compelling business case to strengthen the University of Gambia through investment. We call on all our partners, the government, private sector, civil society, and development partners to support the following priority initiative projects. The first one, university, it's important for students to have the best possible experience. And any transformation, the student must be at the center of it. So we are working on a student employability, entrepreneurship and development project called SEED. Now SEED is critical for preparing the leaders of tomorrow. So the University of Gambia is determined to scale up our existing activities to student employability and entrepreneurship. The objective of this project is to impart relevant skills that will open doors for students to explore several options when they complete their studies. This project, no doubt, will equip students with relevant life skills to support their transition to labor market, and most importantly, to become entrepreneurs and future leaders. On the second priority project, the Staff Capacity Building and Institutional Strengthening Project, with under a quarter of staff, just under 25% with a PhD degree, the University of the Gambia faces a considerable challenge in sustaining specialized postgraduate programs, masters and doctorate, to support our National Development Plan, the continental and regional global development agenda, such as the African Union 2063, the SDGs 2030. To remedy this imbalance, the university is putting in place a capacity building and institutional strengthening project with several components. First, a doctoral program for staff without a PhD, a postdoctoral program for early career research staff with PhDs, an academic leadership program to develop senior staff, an academic support program to enhance the capacity of administrative staff, research management program to strengthen the management of research and consultancy services from pre-award to post-award, institutional strengthening program to support the human resource department, and a program implementation support program to provide advisory services. The project will support the learning experience of students and will transform the University of the Gambia from a teaching to learning environment and a modern research-led university. It will also crystallize the relevance of undergraduate and postgraduate programs, improve the quality of graduates in the labor market, and catalyze the implementation of National Development Plan of the Gambia and our regional and continental agendas. The third one is the Centers of Excellence, just outlined by the chairperson of the Governing Council. And these centers are important as a means of developing or generating extra revenue and as a means of strengthening our engagement with our key stakeholders. The 4 centers of excellence that were approved by the Governing Council in key areas: transitional justice and sustainable peace, food science and nutrition, sustainable development and policy studies, Center for Leadership and Authorities in partnership with the United Nations Institute for Training and Research. So these are the 4 centers. And we believe that these centers will provide a platform to engage stakeholders through a multidisciplinary approach to respond to multifaceted development challenges, of providing short-term training to develop the culture of lifelong learning, conducting research and dialogues to address current strategic policy challenges, and to support development and implementation of policies in collaboration with stakeholders. We presented this Center for Sustainable Development and Policy Studies to the Development Partners Group at the British High Commission. It was well received and endorsed by development partners, so we look forward to working with all of them. Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we call on all stakeholders, including development partners, to engage and vitalize these centers to support policymakers and their development priorities. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic, the Chancellor of the University of the Gambia, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I cannot end this convocation address without expressing my sincere appreciation to the Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Pierre Gomez. I also want to thank members of the Governing Council, led by able chairperson, and the Senate of this university, for the support and cordial relationships that this administration has enjoyed in the last 12 months. All of our staff and students also deserve commendation for their commitment to the maintenance of a stable and progressive academic calendar at the University of the Gambia. I can assure you all that the university management will continue to do our best to help promote and sustain this healthy tradition, even as we toil within the limits of resources to move the University of Gambia to become a top-class university. As a nation, we expect that the 21st century university education will give students a solid preparation to manage their own learning development in the real world of work, with a high sense of responsibility and commitment to contribute to the development of a sustainable society. To the graduates, as you leave the walls of this university, remember that we have now accepted you onto the fold of alumni members of the University of Gambia. Be good ambassadors for the university. Today should not mark the end of your education. On the contrary, it marks the beginning of a new phase of learning. Remember to serve your country in whatever capacity you find yourself. Keep up your enthusiasm and desire to learn and share knowledge. And finally, remember that there will be challenges ahead, but you can always overcome them and turn them into opportunities. I thank you all for your kind attention.
The Honorable Chancellor of the University, His Excellency Adama Barrow, to address the convocation.
Honorable Cabinet Ministers, Honorable Members of the National Assembly present, Your Excellencies, Members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps present, Venerable religious leaders, Chairman and members of the University Governing Council, the Vice Chancellor and members of Senate, eminent scholars and vice chancellors from partner universities and elsewhere, staff, graduates, and students of the University of the Gambia, senior government officials and service chiefs, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today's graduation ceremony marks another spectacular milestone in the history of the education in the Gambia. It is also a point of reference in the lives of the graduates and their families, as well as the University of the Gambia, UTG, and the Gambian nation at large. The convocation signifies progress and underscores our collective commitment to educating our youth, whose skills and training we need badly for the socio-economic transformation of our country. In addition, the occasion symbolizes the dedication and the determination of the youth to uplift themselves and their families by carving out careers and building on their past glories through academic pursuits. As Head of State and Chancellor of the UTG, I cannot be happier than being here to grace the ceremony and celebrate this accomplishment with all of you present. I congratulate the graduates, staff and students of the university on this magnificent day. The UTG Council, administration and entire staff deserve special commendation. We are proud of all of you together with the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, MOHAS. It is fascinating that the university wisely adopted higher learning skills and entrepreneurship for sustainable development as the theme for the occasion. This is the thrust of my address today. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, for a country like the Gambia, skills and entrepreneurship are critical enablers of speeding up socio-economic transformation. To realize this, however, higher education institutions must function as essential drivers for enhancing learning, skills development, and nurturing a culture of entrepreneurship for sustainable development. As a guiding definition, it suffices to argue that sustainable development implies working progressively to persistently meet the current and emerging needs of society, without compromising on the optimal advancement of future generations. Thus, we expect sustainable development programs to be suitably progressive, in line with the economic, social, and environmental concerns of the nation. Over the years, we have seen strong economic growth in developing countries without corresponding decreases in unemployment rates or critical increase in unemployment opportunities to meet the labor market needs. This mismatch raises the question, are the knowledge and skills acquired from our institution appropriate enough? Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, higher learning skills are essential to pursue sustainable visions of the future. Mindset and skills for problem solving, decision making, teamwork, and critical thinking strongly correlate with sound education and training for national development. These skills are fundamental and necessary for the attainment of our national goals and the global sustainable development goals. Higher learning skills contribute to increase efficiency and productivity, and this opens up better opportunities to achieve sustainable development. Education and training are therefore at the heart of socio-economic transformation because they facilitate progress through increased creativity, civic involvement, and contribution to national development for a stable future. The university systems in many African countries still reflect the legacy of the past. They are systems characterized by academic curricula that tend to produce graduates for positions in government. We must reverse the trend to allow our countries to take their rightful places and participate actively in the integrated global economy. It is quite clear that our stock of graduates with secondary and tertiary education level skills lean mostly towards the humanities and social sciences. The proportion of students in science, technology, and engineering could definitely be much higher. Furthermore, female representation in science and technology-related courses and professions need an obvious boost. New skills are constantly required in the technical areas, as technological capacity and economic growth are mutually interconnected. Harnessing new technologies increases productivity, employment opportunities, and the ability to move up the production value chain. Technical and vocational education and training in Tibet is therefore a big component of the situation to our development challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurship is an acknowledged agent of change for sustainable development. On account of this, the youth need to be encouraged to become innovative entrepreneurs. If they grow with entrepreneurial mindsets, they will develop new business development and growth ideas. This would lead to independent, self-confidence, innovative and creative youths. Youth with these endowments can solely create jobs, bridge the unemployment gap, and contribute positively towards the socio-economic transformation of the Gambia, while solving crucial societal challenges through their enterprising ventures. My government recognizes that entrepreneurs are essential for economic growth, wealth creation, and employment. Indeed, entrepreneurship can play a huge role in combating the global crisis that slow down progress. This is more so if entrepreneurial efforts are combined with public-private partnerships, which is critical for sustainable development in developing countries. COVID-19 evidently exposed the need for innovation. It is necessary, therefore, to prioritize entrepreneurship education on the curriculum of higher education institutions. The Ministry, through the Accreditation Authority, should champion the required shift of repositioning higher education as a transformative tool for change and development. I urge them also to sign performance contracts with all public, tertiary, and higher education institutions in the country to ensure that education they provide is relatively suitable. In the same way, I challenge the institution to do away with learning approaches that are not effective enough for this day and age. Let us believe that investing in entrepreneurship education can create a culture of innovation that reorients the youth better. With this in mind, effective entrepreneurship education policies are vital for emerging economies to empower the people with appropriate knowledge and skills for business development. I invite our development partners and friends to support my government in promoting Tibet education in the Gambia. With adequate support, the need and aspiration of the youth could be effectively addressed, and the rural-urban drift and illegal international migration considerably minimized. My government is focused on transforming our higher education system through reforms that put the youth at the forefront of national development. A vital aspect of this strategy is laying emphasis on hands-on education and training for enhanced learning and skills development. To this end, we are building a center of excellence for entrepreneurship, setting up Tibet centers, and encouraging positive radical educational curricular reviews and development. Graduates from the Tibet institutions and the secondary school should have the opportunity to access applied science education at the University of Applied Sciences, Engineering and Technology. Having said this, I acknowledge the significant achievements registered within the higher education sector in recent years. No wonder we now boast of many UTG masters and PhD degree holders in and outside the Gambia. I thank the Ministry of the UTG community for this and for delivering a wider range of higher education programs on our soils. Turning to the graduates, once more, I congratulate you on your remarkable achievement. The day marks another development stage in your lives. However, do not allow it to be the end of your rosy stories. Instead, make it a step towards greater deeds. Be graduates that serve the nation with pride and joy, and strive to be among the pride of your families and communities. The nation awaits you with open arms, but with eyes wide open also. Do your best and you will be rewarded accordingly. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chancellor. Please let's give him another round of applause. Honorable Chancellor, sir, members of the Council and the Senate, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the University of the Gambia will on this day confer the Doctor of Humanities honoris causa upon Madam Henrietta Bruma Sonko. I now invite the University Orator, Mr. Nana Gray Johnson, to read the citation of the awardee.
May I respectfully invite this distinguished personality by the name of Madam Henrietta Bruma Sonko to kindly come forward and remain upstanding for this citation to be read. The memorable year of the Gambia's independence, a child, Henrietta Bruma, was born exactly 9,828 kilometers away from Bathurst, Banjul, in Pretoria, South Africa. In 1968, thereabouts, her family left South Africa for the Netherlands. And although she was only 3 years old at the time, Henriette grew up with the grim lessons of the anti-apartheid struggle in that country of her birth, informing deep and lasting convictions that would nourish in her a keen sense of social justice, human values, and a robust understanding of humanity's emotions and heritage and destiny. In highly instructive words of her own, I grew up with the realization how unjust it is to view people differently based on their background. We are all born equal, but with varied strengths and weaknesses. We should always endeavor to focus on everybody's strengths and not have prejudice based on how someone looks. Henriette's words do recall the equally invigorating thoughts of Ivorian African dramatist and poet, the late Bernard Berlin Dadier, who wrote, "I am glad of the shape of my head, made to carry the world, content with the shape of my nose, that must snuff every wind of the world, pleased with the shape of my legs, ready to run all the heats of the world. I thank you, God, for creating me black, for making of me porter of all sorrows." Chancellor, sir, Henriette quickly embraced her family's outstanding intellectual tradition that encouraged opportunities that education offered to girls, particularly to girls in science and technology. Her mother was a graduate, her father a professor in philosophy of religion with 3 doctorates to his credit. Her brother took doctorate degrees in physics, and her sister became a medical doctor. As Henriette proudly affirms of that scholarly environment, the thought of not going to university did not exist in our house. In 1984, Henriette obtained a BSc and followed that in 1989 with an MSc in entomology, ecological agriculture, and didactics from the Agriculture University Wageningen in the Netherlands. She also took a variety of short courses on disability sport and small engines, and acquired technical skills and participatory techniques in development. This solid combination of the sciences, humanities, and social sciences correctly foretold an endearing lifetime of dedication, sacrifice, and selfless service to humanity. Chancellor, sir, it is the remarkable fortune of our dear nation that the seeds of a lifetime of service to humanity of this renowned scientist, educationist, and philanthropist were sown in the Gambia, where she first arrived in 1991 as a volunteer advisor on horticulture and as a community development facilitator and specialist, covering not only the then Western Division, but serving also as the de facto technical advisor to the Basse Area Council in the implementation of the EDF projects throughout Upper River Division. For more than 3.5 decades, the now fully Gambian Mrs. Henrietta Bromasonko has demonstrated beyond any iota of doubt her love for the Gambia and a selfless, unconditional allegiance and sterling commitment of a lifetime in view of our significant contributions to human capacity and to social and community development throughout the country. Chancellor, sir, a few highlights speak eloquently to her transformative impact in the area of inclusive education. This is the woman, an absolute development agent and change maker, who built more than 1,000 classrooms across the length and breadth of the country, built several staff quarters in schools categorized as located in hard-to-get areas, built the Gambia College Annex in Basse, built 18 classroom blocks at Gambia College Brikama with furnished classrooms and science laboratories, provides annual support by way of scholarships for students from all the administrative regions outside Banjul and the West Coast region. Here, we have a worker whose modesty would have her refer to herself as a coordinator rather than the high-sounding executive or managing director, while she was facilitating remarkable increases in numbers enrolled in the MRC Holland project, whose beneficiaries at the UTG now stand at 400 students. With regard to the MRC project, Madam Bromasonko, with an even more remarkable sense of humility, shines the light away from her in paying a glowing tribute to the selfless generosity of Dr. Hans Houten, her mentor, sole sponsor of the MRC Holland Foundation, to whom she attributes the encouragement and unwavering support that always brought out the best in her work. In that work, with selfless purpose, She has managed the construction of more than 350 schools so far and sponsored more than 2,000 students, a number of who are graduating today, 18th of March, 2023. In tandem with such illustrious achievements already under her belt, our distinguished awardee also maintained equally engaging diplomatic and social calendars as honorary consul for the Netherlands, while being an active member in positions of authority in notable civil society organizations, as in coordinator of the MRC Holland Foundation, chairperson of the Tumani Tender Development Foundation, chairperson of the Foundation for Dutch Education in the Gambia, treasurer of the Dutch Gambia Business Link from 2016 to 2021, honorary Rotarian of the Rotary Club of Brusubi, the Gambia, and chairperson of the United Nations Foundations from 2016 to 2021. Chancellor, sir, I now have the singular honor and privilege to respectfully present this proud Gambian national, Henriette Bruma Sonko, BSc and MSc, for your conferment upon her of the title of Doctor of Humanities Honoris Causa of the University of the Gambia. Is the conferment of master's degrees, that is the Master of Public Administration, Master of Science in Public Administration, Master of Science in Public Health, Master of Public Health, Master of Science in Community Health Nursing, Master of Science in Business Administration, Master of Science in International Relations and Diplomacy, and Master of Science in Economics. Chancellor, sir, the persons whose names are listed in the brochure, having fulfilled the requirements of the statutes and the regulations of the University of the Gambia, and have been found worthy both in character and learning, wish to be received as graduates of the university, holding the Master of Science, Master of Public Administration, Master of Business Administration, and Master of Public Health degrees. I now call on the Dean, School of Graduate Studies and Research, to present the graduates.
In the name and by the authority of Senate, I present to you the following candidates, those present and those unavoidably absent, whose names appear on the list and for whom I stand proxy, for the conferment of Master of Public Administration, Master of Science in Business Administration, Master of Science in Public Administration, Master of Science in Economics, Master of Science in International Relations and Diplomacy, Master of Science in Public Health, Master of Public Health and Master of Community Health Nursing of the University of the Gambia.
I confer upon you all the master degree in the various programs in the School of Medicine and Life Health Sciences, Business and Public Administration, and Arts and Sciences of the University of the Gambia.
Thank you. We will now give 3 hearty cheers. I will now call upon the Dean of the various schools to present their graduates. School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. Thank you, Honorable Chancellor. We will now give 3 hearty cheers to the graduates. Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Please resume your seats. Thank you, Professor. And have been found worthy, both in character and learning, wish to be received as graduates of the university holding bachelor degrees of their various schools. I will now call upon the Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences to present the candidates.
By the authority of Senate, I present to you the following candidates, those present and those unavoidably absent, whose names appear on the list and for whom I stand proxy for the conferment of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Biology, Physics, Mathematics, Chemistry, and Bachelor of Arts in Development Studies, English, Language, History, Christian Studies, Geography, and Political Science of the University of the Gambia.
We will now give 3 hearty cheers to the graduates. Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Thank you. Please resume your seats.
Yeah. Will the graduates in the School of Business and Public Administration please stand? And by authority of Senate, I present to you the following candidates, those present and those unavoidably absent, whose names appear on the list and for whom I stand proxy for the conferment of degree of Bachelor of Science in Economics, Management, Accounting, Public Administration, Banking and Finance, Marketing, Human Resource Management, Tourism
of Science in the programs of the School of Business and Public Administration of the University of the Gambia.
Thank you, Honorable Chancellor. Will now Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Please resume your seats. Thank you. Please resume your seats. I now invite the Dean of the School of Education.
Bachelor of Education in the programs of the School of Education of the University of the Gambia.
Thank you, Honorable Chancellor. We will now give 3 hearty cheers to the graduates. Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Thank you. Please resume your seat.
School of Engineering and Architecture to stand up, please. School of Engineering and Architecture, can you please stand? Chancellor, in the name and by the authority of Senate, I present to you the following candidates, those present and those unavoidably absent, whose names appear on the list and for whom I stand proxy for the conferment of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Planning and Design of the University of the Gambia.
The Gambia.
Thank you, Honorable Chancellor. We'll now give 3 hearty cheers to the graduates. Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Thank you. Please resume your seats.
Graduates of the School of Information Technology and Communication, can you stand, please? Chancellor, in the name and by the authority of Senate, I present to you the following candidates, those present and those unavoidably absent, whose names appear on the list and for whom I stand proxy for the conferment of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Information Systems and Telecommunications of the University of the Gambia.
By the authority vested in me as Chancellor, I confer upon you all the degrees of Bachelor of Science in the programs of the School of Information Technology and Communication of the University of the Gambia.
Thank you, Honorable. Hey! Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Thank you. Please resume your seats.
Can you please stand up? Those present and those unavoidably absent, whose names appear on the list and for whom I stand proxy for the conferment of the degree of the Bachelor of Arts in Journalism and Digital Media of the University of the Gambia.
By the authority vested in me as Chancellor, I confer upon you all the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the program of the School of Journalism and Digital Media of the University of the Gambia.
Thank you, Honorable Chancellor. We'll now give 3 hearty cheers to the graduates. Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Thank you. Please resume your seats. Next to be
whose names appear on the list and for whom I stand proxy for the conferment of the degree of Bachelor of Laws of the University of the Gambia.
By the authority vested in me as Chancellor, I confer upon you all the degree of Bachelor of Laws of the University of the Gambia.
Thank you, Honorable Chancellor. We now give 3 hearty cheers to the graduates. Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Thank you. Please resume your seats.
And by the authority of Senate, I present to you the following candidates, those present and those unavoidably absent, whose names appear on the list and for whom I stand proxy for the conferment of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Public and Environmental Health, and Bachelor of Surgery, Bachelor of Medicine of the University of the Gambia.
By the authority vested in me as Chancellor, I confer upon you all the degrees of Bachelor of Science in the programs of the School of Medicine and Allied Sciences of the University of the Gambia.
Thank you, Honorable Chancellor. We'll now give 3 hearty cheers to the graduates. Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Hey, Pepe! Thank you very much. Please resume the 22 graduating classes of the University of the Gambia. Yadam Jai, step forward.
The President of the Republic of the Gambia and Chancellor of the University of the Gambia, Mr. Adama Barrow, the Speaker of the National Assembly and National Assembly members present, His Lordship the Chief Justice, Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Per Gomez, other cabinet ministers here present, the chairman of the UTG Governing Council, Mr. Matthew Ndur, and all council members present, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Herbert Robinson, invited scholars and Vice Chancellors from the sister universities in Senegal, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Registrar and other principal officers, deans, heads of departments, faculty and staff, religious leaders, fellow graduates, invited guests, parents, well-wishers, members of the media fraternity, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. I am deeply honored to have emerged as the valedictorian of the University of the Gambia's 15th Convocation ceremony and be given the privilege of delivering this valedictory speech. This is the greatest achievement of my life so far, and I am beyond grateful. Notwithstanding, I did not do this alone. I thank the entire university faculty and staff for their patience and willingness to share their knowledge. I offer my sincerest gratitude to the School of Information, Technology and Communication, ITC, for deepening and strengthening my passion for computer science. It was always a fantastic feeling to be in a room full of people with very similar interests to mine, freely sharing ideas. I would like to especially thank the mathematics department for their immense contribution towards my mathematical competence. Mr. Cisse's pre-calculus class made me fall in love with maths and was the starting point of my journey into the fields of machine learning and AI. I thank the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, and the government of the Gambia for having provided me with the much needed scholarship. It is so much easier to study when you don't have to worry about tuition fees. On behalf of my colleague awardees, I sincerely thank you for coming to our aid. I encourage Mohas and the Gambia government to continue providing such support to many more students. For without such, many young people, particularly young girls, with brilliant ambitions will find it inordinately difficult, if not impossible, to attain their dreams of obtaining higher education. I equally challenge other stakeholders to avail students, particularly girls in ICT and STEM, with more scholarship and bursary support to enable them to hone their skills and realize their full potential. This will complement the government's efforts in realizing the goals set out in the Women in STEM initiative recently launched by the Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology on behalf of the President. I thank the people in my life, without whom I wouldn't be anywhere near this podium. Today's milestone and everything I will ever have, I owe to them. My twin mothers, Bintu and Fatumbai, Bai Mowli John, Aissatou Toure, Ami Diouf, and my older brother, Mustafa Sane. I will forever owe you a debt of gratitude. To Uncle Bai, thank you for paying for my schooling from nursery to grade 12. To Tafa, thank you for setting an incredibly high standard for your siblings to follow. To Fatumbai, Ante, thank you for always being by our side, through thick and thin. and for all these sacrifices you make daily to ensure that life is easier for your family. And finally, to my gracious mother, Bintu Mbai, I can stand here and make a million attempts at thanking you, but I know it will never be enough. Growing up, I didn't have a father figure, but you bravely and ably assumed that role along with your underappreciated and laborious job as a mother. You protected and nurtured your children to the best of your capabilities. The values and morals you impacted in me have contributed towards my ability to integrate and adapt to any situation and surmount any challenge that comes my way. You are my beautiful superhero, and I love you wholeheartedly. I can never fully repay these people, but that doesn't mean I will not happily chase that madness. I would also like to thank my siblings, Mbayang Jai, Lamin Jai, Ajiyamandong Jai, Pa Abusuno, Pakeba Jai, and my friends for their unconditional support. The classes of December 2021 and May 2022 deserve a massive pat on the back for what we have accomplished. These 4+ years have not been the easiest for various reasons. One of the main challenges has been the academic pressure we all had to grapple with. Trying to keep up with unending assignments, mind-boggling tests, and demanding exams sometimes overwhelmed us. And to add more to the stress, the financial component was another pinch of salt difficult to swallow by many. While many of us struggled to pay our fees, others found it difficult to get essential student resources like laptops, readily available internet connection at home, etc. Some of us also endured painful commutes to and from school. There were many reasons, much more than I highlighted, to give up, but we did not. No matter how tough it got, we kept pushing. We all had our own personal beacons, our reason for not sinking deeper into the dark forest of excuses. With dedication and commitment, we marched on. Our experiences, whether positive, neutral, or negative, have shaped us into who we are today. Nelson Mandela once said, "I never lose. I either win or learn." So in the future, if we adopt that mindset, we will not fear facing the challenges life will undoubtedly throw our way, and we'll step out of our comfort zones more often than not. We can make significant changes in our country because we are armed with the most powerful thing a human can possess: quality education. It is the greatest equalizer in our modern world. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, sadly, we started this journey with some brilliant colleagues and staff who could not reach the finishing line due to the call of nature. Therefore, it is essential that on a day like this, we remember them. We feel deeply saddened while condoling with their families. We pray that their departed souls rest forever in eternal peace. Amen. In conclusion, I would like to congratulate all my colleague graduates for surmounting all challenges and accomplishing a great feat in our academic lives. Heartiest congratulations. On that note, I thank you all for your kind attention.
Our best graduating student. Ismaila Jobate. Student, December 2021 cohort, Muhammad J. Ba. Move to the May 2022 cohort. Overall best graduating student, Seni Sise. Seni student, Sheikh Mas Jah. Graduating student, Yaya Jallo. Best graduating student in medicine, Fatoumata Dabo. Jainaba Jallo. Is Abisatu Seka. The Student Leadership Award go to Lagami Gumane. Donated by Qcity. Ya Adam Jai. Qcity has donated laptops and Wi-Fi routers to these deserving students. Ya Adam Jai, overall best student and valedictorian.
Ya Adam Jai kanade, bahana la tobi siso moko mo kona kan. Ya Adam Jai, la tobi dewendi moko mo.
Student in computer science, Ya Adam Jai. Okay, thank you. Graduating student in information systems. The Convocation Choir to render a song in honor of the 2021-2022 graduates. thank you to dissolve this convocation. I now have the honor, most respectfully, to invite the Chancellor, His Excellency Adama Barrow, to declare the 15th Convocation ceremony closed. Please, may we rise for the national anthem.
dama ne junjug rek na gar mi day waaj waa fan la fii la ci qualité Getzner and moo bi lan la seetal Getzner yaa ngi nii borode yaa ngi nii mu ne déedéet borode jigéen rek di ko sol damay indi borode jigéen indi borode góor laaw la cat kii daal ne na xam nga lu muy bañ ñoo dugg ci bitig bi ne nangam lay ut ñu ne amut lépp lu jigéen di soxla rek mu ngi ci bitig bii rawat na nag tubaarikàlla scrub yi nga xam ne moo xew si jamono ndax nee na buggatul benn yaram yàqu scrub yaa ngi nii body scrub yi face scrub yaa ngi day and night loo bugg rek ci jigéen mu ngi ci bitig bii